Hi there. I've made a crowd simulation in a compute shader. I've been working on it for about a week and a half, and I just kind of want to show you what I made. So right now we have in our crowd 1,000 people. It can go up to 5,000, but for the purpose of showing you, it's actually a lot easier with 1,000. So yeah, the way it works is there's each person, their goal in their head is to go to a specific shop which they head towards. And while doing that, they want to avoid walls and they want to avoid each other, as I think we'll see. So we're just following this guy here. Now, once they get to the shop, they look at the product. As you saw, you avoided a little bit. Once they get to the product, they will stand there for a little bit, look around, and once they're done, they'll go to the next shop. So this guy is having a hard time getting to his thing. Maybe we'll follow someone else. Here's one that got there. But this guy seems to be getting on a roll. Anyways, so yeah, that's how it works, is they avoid each other and they avoid walls and they head towards the shop if they can. And how it really works though, like under the hood, is it uses this thing called a birdoid, or a Boid simulation. Like a really heavily modified Boid simulation. And what that is it's supposed to simulate a bird flock. And it has three components. It has separation, alignment, and cohesion. So what separation is the birds each individually separate from each other depending on how close they are, and the closer they are, the more they separate. But they also align with each other. So once they're at a good separation, they will go head in the same direction. And they have cohesion. So all the birds have a center point which they want to go to. So it takes all these components in mind, and that is how you get the bird simulation. Now my simulation only uses separation and cohesion, kind of. So as you can see, it has the separation. We're still just following this guy, hoping he can make it through his shop. It's kind of hard because there's so many people. But yeah, once they get into a certain distance, they'll separate. And it has cohesion a little bit. So cohesion isn't the right word. What it has is a target, and that's the shop position, specifically the shop position. So their cohesion, they don't cohere. They don't go to the same direction. They go to their own direction. So yeah, this guy is really having a hard time making it, and that is probably where I should start getting to problems. So there's a few problems with this. One, as you can see, sometimes they do intersect. It's not a collision detection, it's a distance detection, so they can still intersect. Number two is sometimes they go inside the walls, so I'm going to leave this guy now. Goodbye. See if we can find, as you can see, this one. So the reason that happens is because the people, they get so pushed together that they end up colliding, as we saw a little bit there, and when that happens for a long period of time, they really start to freak out and they go bonkers. And they go inside the walls, as this guy has done. It's a rare occasion, but when they really get squished, that can happen. This can be solved, at least in theory, by making the little people stop when they have nowhere to move, instead of just going in a circle like this guy is. Kind of like real humans. But I haven't figured that out just yet. Yeah, that is a goal. So to make them stop, that's a problem. But they do stop at the stands, just not when. What I want them to do is stop when they can't move in any like reasonable direction. So yeah, that's 5,000 people, or I mean, sorry, 1,000 people. I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. That was the goal, is to create what feels like a nice crowd. Yeah, so now let's talk about how exactly you add stands and how you add walls. So, let's go here. Now, here's a wall. As you can see, the wall is not like this, right? Nor is it this. It's actually like a cube. Now, what you might have seen there, if I can get back to where it was, is this has a box collider right here. It doesn't actually use a box collider at all. The box collider is purely for me to show you guys. What it actually uses is this tag here. So it puts everything tagged wall. It puts inside of the compute shader, and the compute shader detects the wall size based off the position and the scale. So it takes half the scale and moves it in all directions. And the voids actually look at the walls as other voids. So that's why they avoid them. And so there's 3 walls in this specific instance. And I guess these are technically walls too, but they don't have the wall tag, so they're not looked at as walls by the voids. Now stands. So the voids don't actually go to the stands. What they go to are little cube positions, or positions rather. So let's see if we can get those center stands. So right now I have them hidden. Here we go. So they go to these little black dots, and I thought that this was a better thing for them to head to because you could much more manually decide where they should stop. So the way it works is, like, they don't actually stop inside the cube. They stop more in a area around the cube like this. But I don't have a way to display that other than that. But yeah, that's about the way it works at each thing. So they don't just, it's not so rigid. There's more leniency. That way multiple can stop at a single shot, right? Let's see, spawners. Let's go here. Spawn bounds. So yeah, the way it works is similar to the walls. All of these have a tag of spawn, and that's put into the compute shader. Actually, no, that's put into a script, and then the voids are spawned, and then their position is put into the compute shader. And anyways, the way it works is it takes each spawn object and it evenly distributes the number of voids across the spawns, not across the size. So for example, this spawn right here and this spawn here get the same number of voids. Yeah, it might be better one way or the other, but I don't think it's too hard. If you want more voids in a specific area, you just add more spawns. It's not too bad, so I'm pretty happy with that. And so yeah, that's why when we press play, you'll see that distribution of voids. As you can see here. And let's try and follow one to a stand a little bit better. Let's see. And they have unique speeds. We'll follow a faster one. And so yeah, I should mention that this isn't a finished product, as I kind of hinted at. This is like at 0.5, I'd say. I want to add that stopping thing and just some more optimizations. So each void looks at every single void, right? So this guy right here is looking at all of the other 1,000 voids, including himself, but he skips over himself. He's not going to make it. We got to change the number of voids. But yeah, that's an issue because really there's no need for a void to look at a void that's 200 units away, right? It's just not necessary. So there's this grid method for collisions where the way it works is a object that is supposed to be detecting a collision will only look at the objects within a certain number of grid cells away. And I think it's like, you can make it whatever you want, but like generally that means they're only looking through 8 loops, or yeah, 8 loops instead of 1,000 loops in this case. And I could really let you speed up the process. I'm not totally sure how that grid thing works yet. I'm sort of just based off like a YouTube video I watched, but I'll hopefully know more about it in the coming weeks. So yeah, once this guy gets to his shop, because I really want to show you someone getting to his shop, then I think I'll call it done. As you can see here, I'll keep talking, is this takes place, like it's supposed to be in the Middle East. Oh, he got to his shop. Excellent, the carpet shop. And everything is made by me. Like, I don't think there's anything that any scripts or code that I got from anywhere else. But yeah, including the textures and all that stuff. Oh, also, one more thing. It is VR capable. But sadly, my VR broke. So, yeah, not VR capable anymore. Well, I guess it is, but my VR is not VR capable. So yeah, I'm hopefully gonna be able to get that fixed. It's a wire that's broken, but yeah, I'm gonna talk to Steam, see if they can do it for free. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Bye.